Hi everyone, and welcome to Cook School recipe number 7 with Mrs McGonigal and
Edward.
What we're going to make today?
Pizza.
Today we're going to make homemade pizza, so we're going to start off by making our pizza dough. Then we're going to make our pizza sauce before we let everything prove and start constructing our pizza and then baking it for our last thing that we're going to do today. So quite a lot to get through in our Cook School recipe. I'm just going to very quickly do our usual shout out. So I have got a shout out for Isabella in Primary 3, who sent me a whole selection of lovely cooking photographs that she's obviously been doing at home, and also from Oliver in Primary 7, who's been very busy making our sausage cha-cha-cha as well. So thank you very much again everybody for following our recipes and for making our recipes with us, because we've enjoyed looking at all the pictures and things, haven't we? It's been good fun. Okay, so we're going to start off by making our dough, and I'm just going to very quickly show you the ingredients that we are going to use. We're going to use strong bread flour, strong white bread flour for the base of our pizza dough. I have read you can use plain flour, and there's lots of different Italian 00 flours, but this is what I managed to get actually in the butchers in Bearsden Cross. So we're using strong bread flour. That is our first ingredient. We also need a teaspoon of salt. We need a fast-acting yeast sachet, or if you have other yeast, you can use that. This is obviously just what we've got in the cupboard at the minute. So we're going to use a sachet of fast-acting yeast. And then we're also going to use a teaspoon of olive oil in our dough as well. So we're going to start measuring these ingredients just now. I'm going to measure it straight into my KitchenAid bowl, because this is what we're going to use to knead our dough. So I'm actually going to use the hook setting of our KitchenAid mixer. You can make a pizza dough without using a KitchenAid, you just obviously have to knead it by hand, but we're going to use our KitchenAid bowl. What I should say, as always, Edward and I have washed our hands, we have fully cleaned down our surfaces, and we are good to go with our cooking today. It doesn't want to stay up, does it? You're trying to make all the ingredients look nice. So we've got our flour, our salt, our fast-acting yeast, our KitchenAid bowl, and our little dish. It's not a big dish, we've got a little dish of olive oil, because that's what we're going to add into our dough. Okay, so we're going to get started with our measuring. 496, 4 grams, so just a little spoon you need. Lift it out. Oh! I would say that's perfect. What do you think? Well done.
1 over it.
That's awesome. Okay, so Edward has done an absolutely brilliant job of measuring our flour. How many grams did you measure?
500, and we needed 500.
We needed exactly 500 and we got there. The next thing we're going to add is a teaspoon of salt. Now it's really important that you don't add your yeast and salt together, because the salt will stop the yeast from working. So we're going to measure a teaspoon of salt and add it into our bowl, and then we're going to give it a little mix around. So can I give you that? I will pour it and you tell me when we have a teaspoon. Okay, so a teaspoon of salt. There we go. So pop it straight into the bowl, Edward, and then give it a good mix around so that you can't see the salt at the top anymore. So give it a really good mix around. Well done.
It's a spoon.
It's not. It's a measuring spoon, but it's done the job because we can't see the flour anymore. Okay. So
You mean salt?
well, we can't see. You're right. We can't see the salt anymore.
We can see the flour.
We can still see the flour. So a teaspoon of salt and our 500 grams of flour. What we now have is our sachet of yeast in our mixing jug, and what we have to do is we have to add 300 millilitres of warm water to our yeast. Now in the teaching kitchen I call yeast our magic ingredient. This is what is going to help our bread to rise, our pizza dough to rise and become nice and light and crispy. So this is yeast, and we have to add warm water. I'm using fast-acting yeast, so it's a 7 gram sachet, and we need to add 300 millilitres of water to our yeast, and it's warm water. So I'm going to get Edward to do that up to the 300 millilitres. So in there we have got our 300 millilitres of warm water and our fast-acting yeast, and Edward is just giving it a little mix. We're just making the dough just now. So Like I said, we're using our KitchenAid. So we have our flour and our salt in here. We have got our fast-acting yeast in this bowl, and this is the attachment, the hook attachment that we're going to use on our KitchenAid. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to our KitchenAid and we're going to start mixing up our dough using that. So we're going
What are we making?
Fish stars.
What are we making? Tell them, Edward, what are we making?
Pizza.
We're making homemade pizza. So we've got all of our ingredients in the KitchenAid. Now what Edward's going to do with the help of Joseph is he's going to add our yeast and warm water into our bowl. Right, Ed, on you go?
Yes. Yeast is there.
There we go. Now Edward, would you
Oh, wow.
turn it on to 1 or 2? What did we add, Joseph?
How does that work?
It's the KitchenAid, and it's going to mix our dough. The only thing that we need to add is a little bit of olive oil. So Edward, that is a tablespoon of olive oil, and Edward's just going to pour that into our dough that's mixing as well. So it's just...
How did that work?
It's a KitchenAid.
How did that work?
It's a very clever machine.
The clever machine
And
go
you can
mixing,
see
mixing.
the dough.
How did that work?
We put the KitchenAid on a wee bit faster just to get the dough to all come together, and that is now kneading our dough
there.
and saving us a lot of work.
There's no dough.
Dough has been perfectly mixed by our KitchenAid. It saved us a lot of kneading. And now all we're going to do, what are we making, Joseph?
Dough.
We're making dough for the pizza. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover our bowl over with cling film, and I'm going to set it aside in a hot place in our kitchen to allow the dough to rise and to prove. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have pizza for dinner.
Oh.
And then what we're going to do is just leave that to prove in a warm place in our kitchen as we go and make our pizza sauce.
Sauce, and we've got 1 onion. Edward is now going to add a clove of garlic. He is now going to add a handful of basil. Basil. And then the last thing to go in is a tin of chopped tomatoes.
Chopped tomatoes.
Chopped tomatoes, and
Look at
all
it,
we're
look
going
at
to
it.
do now
Yeah.
is put that on the cooker to cook while our dough is proving, and that will be ready around the same time. And our dough has been left to prove for about half an hour to 45 minutes. What was our active ingredient, Edward?
Yeast.
Yeast. So you can see the yeast has helped our dough to more than double in size. We have washed our hands again, and now we're going to start shaping our pizzas, and Joseph's very excited about it. Edward is now going to spoon the sauce onto the pizza, and using the back of his spoon, he's going to spread out another spoonful of sauce, Edward. And he's going to spread it out carefully all over the pizza, just leaving the edge for a crust. Another spoonful, Edward. Edward's now adding cheese to his. We're using already grated mozzarella cheese, because Edward likes his pizza to be slightly drier. He's not a big fan of the fresh wet mozzarella, the buffalo mozzarella. So he's adding as much cheese as he would like on his pizza. And Edward only has cheese and tomato.
One more.
That's all he has on his pizza ever. So Edward's going to have a plain margharita pizza. Well done, Joseph. Well done. Are you putting your sauce on the pizza? Are you a little bit covered in flour? Just a little bit. There we go, a little bit more cheese for Joseph. Well done. Do you want anything else on it, Joseph?
Yeah.
Do you want some salami?
Our cook pizzas out of the oven. They were in the oven for about 15 minutes at 180 degrees and they're now all cooked. And all that's left for us to say is... Bye everyone! Thank you for watching Cook School recipe number 7, homemade pizza. We're going to enjoy them now, aren't we? Bye everyone!
Bye.